Hello,
You
hello.
can proceed.
You
You
can
can
proceed,
proceed.
sir.
Ma'am. So I think we are into the 13th year of the site. Site was introduced in 2010, and now we are into the 13th year. And I think ma'am has given the introduction about me. So a little about me more. So currently I'm a vice chair at Region 10 HTA Humanitarian Technological and Activity Committee. And I have been a part of Region 10 HTA since 2019, starting as a volunteer to subcommittee member and now the vice chair. It's like, moreover, I started my humanitarian activity from 2011, initiating with multiple government projects and college level activities with NSS, NCC, and government projects. And the major project that I can say that I did an internship at Semiconductor Lab at ISRO in 2013. So that gave me a keen interest in getting into humanitarian stuff. And I was a part of SIGHT Bombay Chapter from 2015. So as the today's topic is familiarizing with the humanitarian technology, so I'll just start up with some of the goals that humanitarian aspect we need to think about, because most of the cases it's like we think that like our projects are really good, but we are not being funded, or we miss out the dates, or let's say the common problem is like we are not aware about the things how the CFPs are there. So I'd like to cover these points and like to give out some key points which every evaluator while evaluating the projects keep in his or her mind, because I have been one of the project coordinator for HEC for 2 years, and I have seen that many good projects were rejected and many small projects which seems to be it's like very easy to be developed were funded with maximum amount just because of few reasons. And the things that is like mentioned in the goals is like the first point I would like to elaborate more about awareness raising of humanitarian activities. See, moreover, in every country, basically starting in Asian countries, the humanitarian problem doesn't starts with an individual problem. So this is the thing that we need to capture, that it is not an individual problem. The problem should be a community-based problem, and the problem which is actually affecting a group of people, not an individual. So this, if you get to know about this problem, then it is one of the problem statement for you, and then you need to formulate that thing into one picture. That is just like you have to create one draft. You need to create a points what problem they are facing it. Then second, training, networking, and mentoring. First parameter is like if you found out something, then the immediate next parameter is like whether you have a train people, you have a network, or you do have a mentors available for that. Because what actually happens here, it's like we know the objectives, we know the problems, but we don't have any skill trainers or people to take that project ahead. So this is the second important parameters of being active or initiate any humanitarian project. Then engagement with humanitarian projects and events. Because what happens now, another important parameter, if someone of your team member was a part of some quality sustainable development project, his experience will play an important role for your new project, because he or she will be very much into that what was the thing that was done during certain areas. And moreover, each and every member should be very much active in that terms. I will try to elaborate this point when I will be explaining few concepts in the slides ahead. But the taking up the last point, which is the most important point. and everyone misses out is the project that you are thinking about. It should be sustainable. At least the plan should be sustainable and it can be implemented for minimum 2 years. So to summarize the things, it's like goals of humanitarian technology is directly proposed, like directly taking up the tagline of IEEE, which is advancing technology for humanity. And moreover, the statement of the past, immediate past chair of HAC, Humanitarian Activity chair, he already suggested that all the activities that we do, we all are volunteers and we need to think about volunteering and learning out of it. We need to learn on every project that we are into. So now I will be coming, I'm just going to mix up the things with global activities and section level activities. So keeping two parameters in one point, what are the activities that a chapter should be keeping in mind and even a region or a section should be keeping in mind? Because the activities has to be performed for the students, professional, academia, industry and government. Because why this parameters, five people are involved? Because any projects will directly or indirectly will involve this professionals. And how this professional will be helpful is step by step. It's a reverse psychology. Because to initiate any humanitarian activity at your local area, let's say Karnataka state is having different like governmental policies, or state government might have different policies. Maharashtra government does have different policies. Similarly, the industries based out of Karnataka is more over IT and electronic sector, and academia. Academia also plays an important role. Let's say, for example, I will give it to a bomb. It's like IIT Bombay. So IIT Bombay plays an important role for all research and development projects which are done under IEEE site. How it's like if we create any projects, we do have mentors from IIT Bombay. So we seek permission and test our many of the equipments or the project that we have built up in the labs built up in IIT Bombay. So academia in that sense helps a lot. But apart from that, academia also plays an important role because many of the colleges or many of the industries would like to sponsor projects which are associated with the one of the reputed colleges in India. Then professionals. Professionals can be the graduate students or the young professionals who are working, and they play a great role in driving the projects, humanitarian projects, because they have graduated and they had work and they have completed their final year projects with reporting and other stuff. So they become the mentors to the students. Then the last part is the students who actually get into the real volunteering stuff, doing and initiating the projects. What is one of the things that students starting from first year, if he starts for a humanitarian project from first year volunteering, actually he or she is supposed to be in that project for minimum of 4 years because he cannot leave the college in between. So he will be available, he or she will be available for at least 4 years for that project. So one of the parameters that is like sustainability is already covered with that. With this real psychology, if we manage the things and activities, we can obtain one of the parameters that we need to. The project can be sustainable. Project the mentors can be made easily available. The, and how to link this all in one group. So if you want to link everyone, we need to set up some people, like something that will make them aware about the thing. So these are the some activities that we plan as like technical workshops. The technical workshops can be anything. It can be brainstorming workshop, any or any problem solving workshop and conferences. We can have a regular meetup, we can have a hackathon, outreach programs, and collaboration with other organizations. Moreover, what actually happens, sometimes one person from any community attend a session of other section. They might be having some different problems, but the problems they have, you might get multiple solutions to that. That solutions plays very important role in developing and solving the individual group problem at your local area. So, as I was saying that what are the local activities does happen and how the initiation does plays an important role. Because my association started as I was mentioning in 2019. So I was a volunteer for HTC 2019. So starting with 2019 and ending up last year, so we have conducted multiple events. So towards the right hand side, this picture is one of the village that we started working in 2015, and now it is one of the full-fledged smart village in India. It is located in Maharashtra, Pain Village, and every year IEEE and Smart Village provide us a seed fund for regularly improvising the thing and improving the technology. One of the best part here is like the community has developed and evolved in a large scale. Now what they are doing is like they are not seeking any loan now, and what the community is building up their own businesses. They are generating the self revenue, and even recently last year, the one thing that is happening is like their utilization of electricity is very less, but the solar and the wind energy that they are developing, they are returning it to the Maharashtra grid for power sources. So they are also generating the revenue and benefits from state electricity corporation also. So this process actually started very smoothly. So if you see this process, this is a different year process, how it initiated and how it currently look like. So if you see towards the left hand side middle picture, this is a full village that was actually been built, and other phases is like when the development was actually been there, and the meeting at IIT Bombay with Smart Village Chair in 2019. So the process started with multiple things and multiple parameters. So coming to the parameters, how we initiated the plans for Bombay section, we after being a chair. So these are the few key points that I have developed in Region 10 also, and even for my chapter this year. So I have prepared a budget and objective projects, distributed my things into the project task, milestones, funding opportunities, and the budget. So if you see this, this is just a temporary thing for just display. And if you just relate the things for project one, that is voluntary engagement project IV and workshop, I have allocated certain project means it's like certain funds to that. Then second, divisional activities. As we know that the section is spread over a large area. So we have divided section into different divisions, and that division level activities do have some different funds. And how the the project 3 is collaborative events. Collaborative events is more focused towards the collaboration and some specific initiatives that will be driving the membership of the section, as well as some good project that will initiate the site chapter and will be more making it more visible to people. And last is volunteer award and promotional materials. So it is like to encourage many people. We have to provide certain volunteering award. So what I have done is like to keep the team active. Every every month we will be giving a best volunteer one prize that will be somewhere something which is useful for him or her. And we will be felicitating in an AGM where they will be they will be officially felicitated that the work they have done it. That can be anything their contribution will be awarded with some of the prizes. Accordingly, the next part, that is we are here for funding opportunities. And funding opportunities, how it starts, that it is a massive thing that we need to think about. As I was saying, funding opportunity, and I was discussing with ma'am, there are 81 funding opportunities every year comes around. And out of that 81, these are nearly 35 to 40 chapters. Those regularly fund across the globe for humanitarian activities. To be more frank, every society has their allocated budget for humanitarian activities. And even if they don't have, they create a special budget on request if we have certain projects or certain technology related to that society. We need to be more active, and one of the team members has to be regularly checking how this proposal, either they are going to initiate the call for proposals, or they are if they are not, if they have not been released, we need to reach out to them for CFPs. So this is one of the options, but a criteria comes here. One of the major criteria here is like they might ask you that your section should have one of the societies associated to it. That is one of the parameters they might ask, but it is not mandatory that you should have the society at your locality. It can be collaborated at region level or other section level, or global society can be formed or can be a collaborator for this if you have a really good project. And one of the example I can say that Bombay SIGHT Chapter has supported one of the event at IIT Madras for getting the seed funding from HAC. So it's moreover, it's like uh, two-way collaboration, how we collaborate the things. So we need to plan the things very efficiently because this will definitely help you. Second, WIE funding. Women in engineering global. It's like if you see a chart of WI or any societies, we have a MGA board, we have a region board, we have a council board, section board. And even if you are having into a student brand, then a student brand board. So keeping in mind, every board has some call for proposals available. I'm just giving an example of WI funding to, it's like if Global MGA has a funding for ILS Summit, they releases $400 for every student, every section, or $4,000 for having a global conference. So what happens here is like if you are they do have a common CFPs, and they will ask you to have certain tracks or related to women, and they might ask you that this project should be driven by only women community, or the project initiative should be related to women in tech engineering. The concept should be with that. But there is another parameters that one should be looking forward. That is call for proposal. This 41 chapters, 41 plus chapters, and women in engineering is different. The call for proposal for everything will be different. For example, if Computer Society initiate a call for proposal, there are many way chances like some of the documents that the previous chair has not surrender or not given, and the records were not present. So to reduce the time, what the new chair does is like he takes the template easily available from his or her friend, and he copy and releases the CFP. And if the CFP call for proposal is released, or let's say the call for proposal is released very perfectly, but what an individual misses out there is like there are some key links, highlighted word that we need to click and check what are the special requirement. People do miss out that, and they submit the proposal, because that highlighted word actually indicates the terms and conditions that everyone should go through. If you see, every call for proposal has a form. The form, sometimes you see a form of only 10 page, means it's like 10 pages are there. In that 10 pages, same questions are repeated multiple times. If someone has applied for HAC project, I think they might be tired to answer one question 2 to 3 times. But that two questions are not related to the previous questions. They have a subject, and if you go to the CFP, they will actually indicate what is they are asking this question and why they are asking it 2 to 3 times. So every time they doesn't want the same answer. They want some unique thing related to that specific topic that they have, that or the specific zone that they have approved for. Another thing is scholarships. I think most of the cases scholarships are also being awarded to students for initiating some projects. Moreover, I have seen that I have listed out these projects where people have won, and out of this, all the people, those who have won this, were directly or indirectly associated with some humanitarian projects. Why? Because if they say that if they have contributed towards the society, the chance of winning their scholarships increases. The LOR they get, the recognitions they get, is like they have contributed towards the society, not for individual. So this also plays an important role in making people. Why I've listed this thing here in this current slide. It's like if we are giving any session to people, we can also mention that this is one of the key thing. If you are applying for scholarships, you can also think about that. If you complete that project very successfully, it will add up to your curriculum, or let's say your CV, or your personal profile letter area also. Moreover, for students, if they are initiated with humanitarian project, it is equivalent to an internship. Why internship? Because uh, if you are initiating any humanitarian project, IEEE doesn't pay you for traveling. It only pay you for the stuff or the project that you are developing. And if you are dedicating your time, you are not getting salary, you are not getting any reimbursement for your travel, and at the end you are getting a certificate. That certificate is more than equivalent to justify that how much work you have or how much time you have dedicated to a project, a successful project. So it is also equivalent to that. Similarly, general education grants are available. These are awards. I would like to add on one thing, fellowship. From past 2 years, I have been focusing on fellowship because IEEE members, those who have served for more than 10, 20, 15, or 10, 20, or let's say 30, 40 years, they are not yet provided by fellowship. Life members or life fellowship, they have not been provided. But if they have been provided with the fellowship, they are not they are not coming into a humanitarian aspect. They are just being a professors at some of the colleges. They are not being a part of mentorship program for humanitarian activities. So the reason I wanted this parameter for fellowship is like if we bring on the senior members into mentoring for humanitarian project, definitely the senior member will be with their experience will give you a great experience for initiating a project. Now, how this fellow members plays an important role in getting any grant. In HAC form, if you see HAC form or any form, one of the major parameters they see that uh, you should have an objective for your project. You should have a goal. You should set a timeline. You should have a team. By team, what they mean that your team should be self-efficient in mentoring your project itself. Man, self-evaluation is also required. And if anyone has completed the HAC project, they will see that HAC do ask a self-evaluation how much you grade your project qualities. And if your team member is having a fellow members or senior members or professional members, or you have a balanced team of everyone, you can mention that this parameters will be taken care by like volunteering will be done by students, project initiation will be done by professional, expertise will review the projects, and the senior members will analyze the critical way out. And there will be a team who is looking out for the collaboration with other institutes or other things for getting the project done over a large scale. One of the best thing that I would like to highlight is like about Kerala section. We see that every year Kerala section does get lots of funding for humanitarian activities and even for SBs or let's say all activities and even the membership growth of Kerala is very high in India as well as global level. It's not just because Kerala do provide everything to their volunteers. It is more about like the people in Kerala are taking initiative from their side. Because if individual is paying $27 from student is paying $27, a professional is paying 84 or $157 from their pocket, they have to seek something out. Because if you go through an IEEE portal, it gives you a endless sublink. Means by this is like if you go to IEEE.org, if you click on any of the link, it has multiple sublink. There is no end. It will redirect you to some new page, some new page, some new page. There is no end to it. Till now, it's like I have been using that website for over more than 9 years now, but I have not seen any. It is updating every year. And one of the best example is like every year more than lakhs of papers, research papers are getting uploaded. So directly the link is growing every year updated. So there is no end to it. So documentation is another important factor for this. And another parameter is like section funding. See, I have mentioned some funding which is provided by some of the section. It is not available with other section also. Because if you go to region has humanitarian activity committee and I am the vice chair. So I can share you that we have certain policy that we will be supporting section for humanitarian activity up to 500 to $1,000 on matching fund policy. It's like if region is supporting $500, section should initiate $500 from their side. So this is on this is what the region has the policy. Even India Council might have some policies. Global HACs do have some policies. And apart from that, there are multiple sections do have initiative. For example, some of the section chairs are associated to some of the reputed institute or reputed organization like Tata or Infosys or let's say ISRO or TIFR. Why I'm mentioning this? Because and even ONGC. So why I'm mentioning this point? This company gives a lot in CSR. Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir. Now
Please,
we are.
Yeah, ma'am. So I think I was being muted.
you can proceed, sir.
Yeah. So, ma'am, why I was mentioning this point because many of this company do provide CSR fund, and the senior members of this company helps us a lot. So, one of the thing that we are planning in our section is like we are going to reach out to them, and we are going to make up a model where the project will be sustainable for at least 2 years, next 2 years. And we won't be going to that company or that individual person for every single event. We'll ask that company to have an MOU throughout the year. They give us some individual support that you are associated with us. In every event, we will be collaborating with them. We will be having their logos. We will be circulating their their activities. We will calling them for all the supports. So every section and even some colleges or universities do have that policy available. For example, GH Raisoni College. GH Raisoni College do provide a lot of humanitarian support, and even they generate lot of seed fundings for initiating such projects. Yeah, coming to the major objective, how much the site provides funding. IEEE site and HAC every year brings up a call for proposal, which is starting from $1,000 to $5,000. This project this project starts is like they set up a call for proposal every 15th of February, and it uh, stays till 31st of March. And announcement is done time to time because there is no timeline for announcing the projects. So you can see that the project you have submitted in the month of January, your announcement can be come in the month of June. Because why? If your project is good, the evaluators will ask you to review your project, and they will ask you to resubmit it multiple times because they know that your project is good, and even they want that your project has to be completed. So in many of the HAC proposal, there are two person who regularly follow ups. One is Juliana and one is Holly Senada Brownman. So she regularly follow ups on email that you have been asked to give some summary about this. You need to change some plan. You need to submit some documents. You need this. So the reason behind that is like they are interested in your project. If you're not getting any review, then automatically your project is rejected. But if you're getting review, that you need to think where you are lacking and you need to rechange that. So not only that, this is just a initial projects for 6 months, but HAC can fund up to 20,000, and that is only on application directly to HAC. We need to write a problem, and that problem should be self-justifiable, and we can submit that proposal to the HAC chair, keeping the section and the region director in the loop. If region director propose the project and your project is approved, definitely there is a huge chance of getting your project can be funded for more than 20,000 to 50,000 US dollars easily. It is more focused towards developing a smart village. Another thing is like young professional. See, this funds is just to set up the meeting. Why I am considered listing out this thing here? Because in every of this meeting, this fund we can collaborate with them just to because young professional, we can spread a word with young professional. We can spread awareness. We can ask them to volunteer. We can ask them to mentor, or we can even say them that please support for from your capability to mentor the students to drive the projects. So with this funds means it's like every YP of your section, you can collaborate with your YP and have one track where you can spread that this projects we are planning you come across, and this funds can be easily managed with in collaboration. how the opportunities in HAC funding starts. IEEE Foundation is divided into IEEE Life Members Community. So life members, HAC, IEEE Smart Village, IEEE America, yes, like Move India initiative is recently you might have heard about. So similarly, it came out from uh, Move USA. This is a project that everyone knows about it, Georgia. So if people have seen the movie, one movie, it's like I'm not remembering the name, but it was just mentioning about the conditions and criticalities of Georgia because of the geographical reason. This community was initiated to safeguard the people in terms to getting relief from the floods, removing them. IEEE site groups that were formed later on to have a proper channel of humanitarian activities. Then, apart from that, PEA societies, epics, and other parameters. Apart from that, there are more things. It's like try engineering, STEM programming, IEEE education, and these things are started recently. So if we get into the details, every societies, every parameters of IEEE have something to give, but we need to explore a lot. I have been a part and across this, so I have listed out my scope that I have been associated and exploring more with every day that I am reaching out to many people. But this is the way we can actually initiate. These are the some of the key links that we can actually get to, and we need to go and study about what are the key parameters associated with it. One of the last thing that I would like to say, how to involve in humanitarian activities, because this slide is was once presented by Sampath sir way back in 2017 to it's like he was with this slide he wanted to say that if you have any problem, form up a team, and that team will be looking forward for solving the problems of local people. And he also given one of the best example, like if you say that the problem is located at urban city, no one is ready to help you out, because globally if you say that the problem is in Mumbai city or Bangalore city, Mumbai city is an urban city where our multinational companies are there. They are well equipped and very easy to solve the problem. There are many people, many NGOs can help you out. But if you take up a problem which is not related to a city, but it is related to a village, definitely it will turn up and your project proposal will be good. Then if you need, the team has to go on hunt for calls for proposal. You need to search for a specific call for proposal. If your project is associated with robotics, you need to find out some proposal related to robotics, because in pandemic times most of the people started developing uh, multiple robots which were helpful in medical sector, but people only seek funding from robotic society. Did anyone thought that any other society can be helpful? There was another society that EMBS had a lot of funding available for develop. EMBS were there, electronic devices were there, because to develop any end product, you will require multiple circuits, multiple equipments. You need to think on each parameter which society can be collaborated with and which society can help you out in this. We need to highlight that parameter the most in the proposal. Then distribute work among the team and submit the proposal for financial support. This is the major parameter where everyone lacks. People, I would like to say one of the parameter, like if you are given a call for proposal of $500 will be supported. We go in a hunt that we need to make a budget of $500 only. We didn't see that what is the market value of something. But anyhow, a proposal which is sent, the everyone needs $500 for the project. That is a very wrong practice because if you want to initiate a project, your amount cannot be $500. Your amount will be either more than $500 or less than $500. It cannot be exact $500. And to justify that, the example I would like to say that if I want to go from Mumbai to Bangalore, the traveling cost for me or traveling kilometers will not be same when I am returning. It will definitely be a difference of 1 or 2 kilometers or more than that. The two-way journey cannot be same. Similarly, here also, your financial supports cannot be same. The proposal that you have submitted and the rebate or let's say you are applying for your expenses, like claim if you are claiming that fund cannot be same. It will definitely differs by numbers, some percentage, and people try to make it very precise so that 500 was offered and we are expense only 500. So in that case also many of the proposals are rejected. So anyhow we need to keep in mind $500 is there. Your project has to be in a honest value. In some of the cases recently I have seen that the proposal was submitted for $650 and the grant was only $400, but proposal was drafted in a very efficiently manner, well described manner. So HAC decided to provide all $650. Additional funds was arranged from the section or some other parameters, but it was supported with full amount was reimbursed to one of the college. This is what a financial plays a real important parameters here. Then initiating a project. Initiating a project also is like you should have a timeline of 10 to 20% delay. So if you are keeping in mind that your project has to be completed by December, definitely you think that your project will be completed by end of January. So if your deadline is you need to make sure that if they have asked you for 31st December, then you have to make sure that your project deadlines has to be submitted before 30 of every month. November means 30th of November you have to be ready with your project because afterwards you have to make some changes in the reports. You will have to analyze the thing what went wrong or is the project is sustainable because in that case many rebates or claims are getting cancelled just because of that. So that is also one of the key points that have to be kept in one of the things. And I have also observed while searching for CFPs, people apply for CFPs on very last minute. And in that last minute, it's not very easy to have a group meeting, have a detailed survey about the project. And if we submit at the very last minute, it's always getting the project is not getting selected at that. So I think this was the last thing that I wanted to share uh, in my currently small session. But yeah, I would like to take on the questions with respect to the activities and the funding or the project that I was being associated with. And with region also I can take it. I am the vice chair for HTA this year. So I will happy to take on the questions related to that also. And my objective with this talk was to just share certain information with you, how you can grab the things, what are the funding opportunities, and create a brief aware about what all the opportunities are. Now, if you have any queries related to how to reach out to them, You can pick me up and ask me related to that. And with that I'll like to thank the organizing team, Anandi ma'am, Sangeeta ma'am, for taking this initiative, for calling me, and I'm thankful for Site Bangalore section for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you so much, Saurabh. It was so
Thank
insightful and any questions from the group, you can please ask them regarding funding and other things. Can you just emphasize more on this smart village which you are doing? Like what kind of activities you have taken up and how did you maintain the timeline?
Yeah, ma'am. So Smart Village is having a concept. Means it's like they will be supporting a village where there is no electricity is there. Or for very, it's like in very simple words, they have, we know that there are 17 SDGs. Out of that 17 SDGs, are 4 SDGs are directly related to the village concept. So if you involve that 4 SDGs into the parameters, definitely the smart village get triggered up. And one of the thing is like equality, right to equality. Then eco- electricity is one of the parameter. Then education is one of the parameter, and good livelihood is there. So there are many other which can be linked with smart village, but these are the 4 common things that I have related with that in the project that we are running, Smart Village project that is running in Leh Ladakh, and a smaller scale of funding at Raigad district of Maharashtra, where Smart Village has contributed with $5,000 for developing a smart village at Raigad, and the project is at Pain Village. So how we started that and how we maintain is like we initiated way back in 2015 with college Don Bosco. Don Bosco was been awarded with HAC project for their humanitarian activities in Shahpur. Later on, taking help and volunteering for them, the group of people try to find out many problems across the state. We came up with around 100 plus problems, and that some of the local problem that we found out was in Raigad district. Hello.
Yes, some echo is coming. Usha Jayam, please can you mute your? Yeah, thanks.
So yeah, ma'am. So the point that we found out at that village was like there was a tribal community was known to be Marathas, and there was one of the tribal communities like from Pain village. What we say that there are many people who they are not, they are migrants in simple words. Means like they are migrant workers, they move around, and Maratha community was one of the established community there. So what there was not, they are not supporting that people to grow. So one of the committee members came out of box from there, and they started initiating that even we want a right to equality to stay there. We are the migrant. So taking that initiatives, we went there, we sort out the things, we sort out the problems. There were many problems, political problems came across that some Maratha groups were not agreeing that they are not, we cannot accept them. So we started teaching them, because group of people, group of students visited the area. The students were, means their children were really interested to learn, and the ladies were mm, also ready to learn lot of stuff. Now if you see that the group of people where they were belonging, so they were very much good in making it's like papad, pickles and other stuff. and that area is very much famous for that. And even the mango, Alfonso mangoes come from that area. So previously, what they do is like they used to sell the mangoes to some of the contractors, and they gave them lesser amount. But later on, we teach them to have their own business, and we made a contract with them that every year will come and teach you, and we won't charge for any mentorship. We establish their businesses, and for training later on, what we need from them is like they need to certify the students that students came here, taught them, and the students were claiming that they explained them, and as a sort of internship or their life projects or humanitarian efforts, they were reported as for their projects, or the certificates were awarded to the students. For first 2 years, based on that certificate, major development like smart village concept is like solar electricity, wind energy. Then there is also a dam nearby. So anything that can be generated to tidal power. So many experiments started with colleges and other stuff. So it actually helped them to grow there. And now I think the area, if you visit it, you won't say that it was a village. It is moreover like some developed city or something. Not city, but yeah, a smart village is there where facilities is available. One ambulance is available, one community hall where at least two computers are actually running, and the group of volunteers and even myself visit every 2 to 3 months to keep a record that the computers are running or not. We keep, and now the local team has taken over for the sustainability, like all the maintenance for that. They contribute among themselves and they are making it. And they are spreading, not only doing it for the local, but they are also spreading across their local areas, like means nearby villages. So starting with that one village with 800 people, now they have expanded to 2,400 people in 2 years, and they are planning to reach out to more vadas. Actually, what we say that area villages as vadas, now vadas are developing into a village.
Very nice, very good initiative.
Mm.
Like one more query is we keep doing outreach activities to various schools. Uh, how do they fund for such activity? Like we keep doing outreach and going visiting schools and other things, but based on what funding is done?
So, ma'am, for having the activities in school, that is why the collaborations plays an important role. Education society provides you certain amount for initiating some projects for schools. There are, it's like, let's say if Education Society provides you $500, so you can distribute that $500 among 10 to 15 schools for initiating the project. And if you say that I am going to organize a workshop in this 15 school from first March to let's say 30th June. So you give a timeline that during this timeline I am going to organize that. Education Society will definitely help you out in initiating some project. Apart from that, if you are initiating some workshop which is related to robotics, Python programming, or which for that a minimum amount can be charged from the school. If the school is government, then you can apply for funding, that is try engineering or free engineering is there. Even I think last year YesIS 12 final were held at Bangalore. So YesIS 12 also have a junior Einstein track. So junior Einstein track is related to students. So if you initiate some proposal or initiating some project competition for juniors, so there is also a funding from IEEE Foundation for initiating that project. But the timeline is like we need to give a minimum of 2 months, because like if you are applying for any proposal, you need to send the proposal minimum 2 months before for getting approved.
Yeah,
Because
understood.
why I'm saying 2 months, ma'am? Because most of the cases, what happens now, some of the people misses out that email. We need to follow up 2 to 3 times, and they review, and they, if you have a timeline, they keep interest, and if you don't have a timeline, they simply reject it.
Yeah,
So minimum.
that's true. Correct. Yeah, thank you. So any other queries, you can please ask Saurabh. Okay, I think we will connect you. You already reached Bangalore, or you're planning to come to Bangalore?
Actually, ma'am, I was in Bangalore today morning. Now I am in
I see.
Ahmedabad.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. Your visit to power station or power industry is the Tata Power,
Yeah, ma'am.
the
Actually,
plan.
we are working into it
Okay.
because because we have recently formulated our team, and this month Sampath Kumar sir is also visiting Bombay.
Yeah,
So,
correct. He has
so
reached Chennai now. He's there
yeah,
in Chennai. Yeah, correct.
so we are
Okay.
planning an event on 28th with him. So
28th. Okay.
28th of February, and my initial plan is to take Sampath sir to the village that I was being part of from
Mhm.
2015. So
Oh, I see. Okay. Nice. Okay. Thank you so much. And over to Supriya.
Um,
I am having just one doubt, Saurabh.
yes, ma'am.
Yeah, like you have talked about like so many projects. So I just wanted to know, like whatever the project we initiate and we complete with the timeline, is there any databases, repositories available for the completed projects, and any analysis report is also available on IEEE site something?
Yes, ma'am. If you go through IEEE HAC, you can see the number of projects funded, and you can also see the topic that was funded, and if the person who has applied for that grant, the project is not is he doesn't wanted to share the details, then you can the detail of that person will be provided. You can reach out to that person to Collaboratech or LinkedIn or any profile. You can reach out to him, or else if the project is open, then you can easily review the projects on HAC portal. They have a database from 2010 till now. More than thousands of projects have been funded, and they have a data sets of every proposal.
Okay, this is the one part, like all the projects, and there is there analysis reports of that is also available for like these 20 projects been happened, these many successful, like is there like that some database, like I feel like sometime we initiate the project and some projects will not be completed or under process only, like that something will be there.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. So every 3 months, you will see there is a newsletter comes from HAC, and HAC gives their success stories that this many projects were submitted, these projects are completed, these projects were funded, these projects are under review. And if you have any queries, you can reach out to the consulting person to take that project ahead. So I have seen in a previous state, it's like many people wanted to start the concept in Canada, and they wanted to replicate in Asian countries in China. Last year, because Dr. Jingdong ma'am was the chair for HCA, they wanted to replicate some projects from there. So what like in the process was like you have to reach out to HAC. HAC will connect, or if the person is well known in IEEE, we can definitely reach out to him directly also. So there is a lengthy process. We need to pin them because they will just give you some highlights. But yeah, if the person has reported their project to IEEE TV, you can get a full analysis of that project easily available. Or if that project has been recognized at global level, then also that project is available at the some of the newsletters. I think 2 years in 2021, Arden and HAC has a collaboration for small project related to COVID, and I was a grant manager and prime contributor for that. So in that case, it was a first time that more than 20 projects in a CFP, IEEE Region 10 and HAC has funded more than 15,000 US dollars. So it is reported on newsletter also and even HAC portal also. So all the projects are available on Art and HTA website also, and you can also take a glimpse of case studies at HAC and site. Even tri-engineering projects, you can see that they have a special case study model. So what happens if the person who is initiator of the project doesn't want his project to be highlighted? Then only name will be provided. Name of that when that project is there. If the person wanted to highlight his project, then you will get the data set easily available. Or second case is you have to reach out to that person directly.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Saurabh. I got the info.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. And
Yes.
to Sangeeta.
We would like to thank Mr. Saurabh Soni for walking us through the side project funding and other initiatives. I'm sure this knowledge would help each of the site teammates to collaborate and contribute towards the initiatives for the sustainable development. We would like to thank the site chair, Exicom members, and all the participants for joining today's session. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, ma'am.
Can we have a
Yes.
group photo?
Sure, ma'am.
Yeah. Request everyone to switch on your cameras.
So, ma'am, yeah, one more point I would like to highlight in today's meeting with Region 10. So, I just got to know that there will be soon the call for proposal for funding from Region 10 will be initiated for HTA, and for Education Society it is already released. So I'll request the concerned person to please have a look because the deadlines are 18 March. But if you see, there are certain things that we need, you will have to go to the CFP. There are two CFP. One is to be hosted by section and another has to be hosted by in collaboration with societies or affinity group
Okay.
with matching funds. So you can have a look around, ma'am.
Sure. Thank you so much, Saurabh. Hoping to
Thank
meet
you,
you
ma'am.
soon. Yeah.
Thank
Thanks,
you, ma'am.
everyone. Thank all the participants.
Thank you all.
Wonderful. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you.